Queen of Spades actually is both minimal and spectacle. We wanted to make sure that we created a scenic world that was open enough that it could transform over the course of the show from something that was more controlled to, by the end, much more chaotic, as we then start to head into what is a more supernatural realm. We were really struck by late 18th century Russian paintings. The Countess's portrait, when she's much younger, is a haunting image that we have actually broken apart. We've actually taken that painting and blown it up in different ways. So we have frames that only highlight her neck and the pearls, frames that only highlight her hands. There's so many questions about what the piece really means and what people's perspectives are on what is real and what's not real.
One of the unique challenges of working on Queen of Spades is how to visually articulate the way that the story moves from a more grounded, naturalistic environment into a more psychological environment. In the case of Queen of Spades, there was something about the shape of the deck and looking in conjunction at some of the research of these like coffered domed ceilings in the palaces of St. Petersburg that felt like there was some symbiosis there. You are looking at something that you normally associate with viewing from below. It really begins to lead the audience in a direction towards the feeling that there may be something that's slightly out of whack, that's slightly unsettling.
It's very clear that it's a story of unhealthy obsessions, both in love and in this mystery of three cards. And I can imagine Tchaikovsky thinking, okay, the number 3, how can I use that as much as possible in my score? It's kind of, I think, him finding a starting point from which to write. We hear in the overture, in the very first measure, the clarinet bassoon play a rhythm of 3 notes per beat, and the strings answer in 3 notes per measure. We have a lot of compound meter which is based on groups of 3 within a beat. We have 3s within 3s later on, rhythmically. So you can see that there's an infusion kind of, or let's say a fueling of the creative process. The orchestration, the orchestral writing of this piece is really visionary. Tchaikovsky was giving it everything he had. He wrote in his diary that he wept every day he wrote music for German. German was an outsider, couldn't have what he wanted. Tchaikovsky was someone who in his life couldn't have the kind of life that he wanted and was always repressed by society. Now he would be astounded that his music is as popular as it was because his society said that his music wasn't good enough.
It's a masterpiece, and I don't know, for me, maybe because I am from St. Petersburg, that's where the opera actually takes place. The theater where I worked for 10 years, that's where it was premiered exactly 101 years before I joined the company. It was premiered in 1890, I believe. For this opera, I play a second oboe and English horn, which is a character instrument. And Tchaikovsky actually liked English horn a lot and used it quite a bit. Tchaikovsky's music is immensely sentimental, and it does answer to this emotional content of the subjects that he chooses for his operas. That's what in particular I love about Queen of Spades, is that every word, every slightest emotion is reflected in the music so acutely that it's hard not to feel it. So yeah, Tchaikovsky is amazing.